Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Welcome everybody to the Commentary Zone Noontime Edition. Today we are doing a Housewives Roundup of the two Housewives show that were aired last night. The Real Housewives of Potomac and the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get my headphones together. I'm a mess today. All right. So, as you enter the room, please don't forget to give us a little thumbs up because we really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. And tell a friend. Tell a friend. All right. So, Jamal, you want to do Real Housewives of Potomac first, season 6, episode 11, No Business Like Shade Business?
Yes.
All right. So, who's first?
Do you want to just go through and do like a little recap of the episode? Do you just want to go character by character? You choose.
Let's go by character because this one we can do it easier because I didn't think this was a great episode, and just
Okay, thank you.
it wasn't. It
Thank
was
you.
all about Candace, and I think maybe it's because I'm not interested in Candace that I didn't think it was a great episode. There was really nothing there except at the end where Candace's mom. They started off the show with Candace's mom coming after her and criticizing her, and then at the end it finished off with Miss Dorothy doing the same thing. I don't like their dynamic. Um, yeah, whatever.
Me neither. It's just, it's just. You would think after a couple years y'all would have gotten past this, but you know what? They thrive on this dynamic. To be completely
Mm-hmm.
honest, it's their normal.
Yeah. So who do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about Robin because I'm gonna say this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm glad Robin is looking like to take control of her business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still iffy on her like making these financial decisions without like a business manager. You
Mm-hmm.
know, someone
Mm-hmm.
to be there with her to go through the space and talk to the person about the leasing. You know, how is the rent paid weekly? The 1,700, 2,000 a week, or do you pay for it all up front, month to month? You know, little things like that. But I did like the space though. I think it's good
Yeah.
for her. I think it's good for her.
Yeah. I wanted to know how they were over $100,000 on their home. And it seems like Juan didn't know, and it seems like she's in charge of it. If she doesn't have any business acumen, what is she doing in charge of the house that they're building? But okay, and how is it that they're like, do we have the $1,700 per month to pay for this space, considering we're 100K over on the house? If you are making $60,000 on orders, which I might have heard that wrong,
I heard 60.
yeah, like why is $1,700 to rent space that you so desperately need?
Mhm.
How is that an issue?
That was my question. I'm like, well, if you're grossing 60K, um, grossing. But see, here's the thing. Let's back up. I want to see if Robin understand what gross
And net,
means.
gross versus
Yes,
net.
correct. 'Cause
And
I'm not gonna lie. I fell asleep on the last part of this, just due to me getting my second dose of vaccine. But when she said gross, I was like, okay. I'm like, wait a minute. She said gross, not net. Oh.
yeah, here's the
That
thing. Throughout this whole segment, I was like, is the IRS watching?
right.
That's all I was thinking. She eventually has the talk with Juan regarding how he speaks to her. Um, and, sometimes she needs encouraging that might help her instead of just pointing out all the negatives. And he said some mess about if she had a girl, he would talk to her different. Like, she's 42. Why is she even thinking about expanding the family? Why is he talking about that? Uh, And
Yeah.
what does that have to do with how you talk to her? She's still your wife and she is a girl. Even though she's in a house of guys. Okay, I didn't understand that at all. But
Me
he seemed
neither.
like he was going to try to do better. So, yay. All right, who's next?
Giselle.
Her segment with Grace teaching Grace how to drive. Yay, congratulations, Grace. You got your learner's permit. So excited for you. But that was the best part of this episode for me. And I
Her
was
driving up on the
kind
curb.
of well, no, I was kind of hoping she was gonna hit Giselle.
You're just so mean. That's just so mean.
But I got genuine reactions out of Giselle when she was in the car. The part where they were in the car and like she couldn't figure out the brake or the gas and why is she
Right.
going so fast. Like that was I like her interactions with her kids. I ain't gonna
Yes.
lie.
It was hilarious when Grace kept running over the cone. She's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
And she said, "Like you coming in hot, coming in hot." I was like, "Ah!" I hollered, I hollered. You
And
coming in
the
hot?
poor cameraman who had to take like, I
Yes.
don't know, war pay for for filming that scene. Poor thing. It was cute. I loved it. Um, I did not like what Giselle did at the end when they were at the video shoot with Miss Dorothy and her making that comment. I said that I was the one who said that Chris was could be writing Candace's coattails, and I heard you said the same thing too.
Yeah.
Giselle,
No, it's not unnecessary and not good.
mm-mm-mm. And I did not like her visors. Like I thought she should have been like with the seniors at the casino playing penny slots. She had on these huge visor sunglasses.
Yeah.
I didn't like that look on her. Once she took those off, she looked great. All right, so who's next? Or was there
Miss.
anything else with Giselle? I'm not sure.
No, I think we can move on to Miss Wendy.
Wendy, okay.
That business plan. Oh no, 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 no. Mm-mm. No, ma'am.
I
No,
like her
ma'am.
glasses though.
No, she looked it great, very professional, ready to like go in and let the people know. But then she started talking. I'm like, wait, you're missing a whole bunch of stuff. Oh no.
This is what happens when you use Google to do your homework. Um,
Yeah. I mean,
honestly,
like she could at least got you know what she did. She should have done. She should have gone to Google and got all those templates and just filled out all the templates. That was she would at least have everything like in one place. At least she would have had a business plan. Like I'm sure there's a Google template for business plan. Like okay, fill in this number here,
mhm.
write this out. Like like a B to C form. She should
Yeah.
have done that versus just googling and making notes.
I think her downfall was making a presentation. Something like a business plan has to be in black and white. It
Yeah.
has to be on paper. You have to like even in one segment when the producer asked her, "How much money have you spent?" And she's like, "Oh, well, I have to like open up the spreadsheet and put in the numbers and then let it add up all the way down the girl.
She didn't even do that. Her
What are
spreadsheet
you
not even done.
professoring in? Like, what is she teaching at Johns Hopkins?
I
Because
think
it's obviously
poli
not
sci.
business. Oh, poli
No,
sci? Okay, girl.
I think her degree's in rhetoric or something. Or her PhD. I think it's what it is.
Ciao. Yeah. At one point, I thought I saw Eddie's eyes roll back in his head, and I was like, "Oh God, thank you," because I'm having the same reaction to this. What is she saying? And basic questions like, great, you've got a mission, but how much are you going to spend? How much does it cost to manufacture per candle? Um, what are you going to sell them at? Like, and that ain't even getting into manufacturing sources, importation, duties, pricing, taxes and distribution lines. Like there's nothing that was addressed about that. Oh, child.
Mm-mm.
But she looked
No,
cute for the video.
she did. She did.
And I did like she went when Miss Dorothy started like doing all her mess, she was like, not getting into that with families. Nope, no ma'am. And Escala was right there with her, agreeing on that. And she actually went and told Candace that Mia was being messy with her mom about Chris.
Right. I don't
See,
like. I just don't like
that's how
that.
you do it. That's how you do it. God. But yeah, that she's good. She's got to get her act together with this business. So I want to see her succeed, but she's really got to get her act together.
Yeah, with her, what it is, I really think she just thought it was easy. It was easy to just open up a box, like, and the business was just gonna be there. Cause just because she had an idea, that would be easy to execute. I'm like, how did you get to that point? Like, what,
Mm-hmm.
I just wonder why. I think what it is for me, when he's just smarter than this, so this confuses me a little bit. I think that's really why I'm taking it back. Because you have all these degrees, you're very educated, so I'm sure you have some semblance of how business actually works. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure she took business somewhere. For her to be acting in this manner is just very odd.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Um, who's next?
Let's see, Ashley. I like
Mm-hmm.
Ashley want to see her family and Uncle
Mm-hmm.
Lump, and they come in like Dean's the older one, right? He just walks in and he's good to go. He's just walking in his little truck, and Ashley's talking about her uterus and all them good things. I'm like, didn't even know that, but okay. And she's telling them how things are going, and I just like Ashley with her family. I really, really do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I did not need to know about her prolapse uterus
No.
or that she felt the bubble right there. But I did like that she's showing her belly and has no shame in that. Like, there isn't an automatic snapback after you have kids. That's unrealistic. And this
Mhm.
time is taking a little bit longer, but you take your time. It took 9 months for that to get there. It should take that long to get it off. You looking good, Ashley. I like that. When she told the family that Michael now wants to get into the movie business, and the reactions, I could understand Uncle Lump's reaction because he's like, look, when I had my kids, I was grinding, I was, putting aside money for them, da 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 da. You're in a different place than where Michael is.
Mhm.
You were 20 years, like you were in your 20s or 30s when you had your kids. Michael is in his 60s. This is his second family of kids. um Michael seems to have his finances in order for now.
Mhm.
Um, what I started wondering when Ashley was comparing the two, I was wondering, she signed, well, allegedly, she renegotiated her post nups and blah, blah, blah. What's a
Mhm.
surefire way to lose your money but invest it into movies or a restaurant? He's tried both.
Right.
Um,
Correct.
I'm wondering if he's trying to squirrel away money offshore, then lose his money so that when they break up, he has nothing to give her.
I mean, it's a possibility, but I could see him being bored if doing the same thing all the time. And let's call it thing a thing. Michael wants to be famous. He's like, look, y'all see my resume? You see this? I've been carrying the Real Housewives of Potomac for the last 5 years. Like, y'all gonna give me something. He just wants to be famous in some capacity. So
The
I'm not too
Inchorn?
sure.
Because I feel that he's trying to do porn. And it confirmed it when she said, "Oh, and he wants me to star in it." Like, there's a
Yeah.
a market for prolapsed vaginas and anuses. I'm just saying.
But the thing is, though, they never said what kind of movies, though.
I know.
So I mean, and it is $1 billion business, though. Let's not poo poo on porn now. It's $1 billion a year industry, so let's not play those type of games. Michael's gonna go where the money is. I can't see someone of his experience just throwing money down a pit. Because with porn, all you really have to do is buy or rent a big old house with several floors, and you can make some money.
Mm-mm.
And I want to know where this quote unquote studio is going to be. If it's going to be in LA or Vegas, I think it's porn. Just saying. Just saying.
Okay,
Just saying.
so enough with the uterus. Not her wig game. Yep. It's just a whole on mess. There's a reason no one discusses the giblets found inside the turkey growth. Yeah, there. Yep, very, very,
Mhm.
very true. Um, movie business is a great place to hide money. Oh,
Really?
oh,
I
what?
didn't. I wouldn't think so. I think it's too. For me, it's too risky. It's too easy to lose it and go over budget and stuff like that. So I wouldn't think that you could hide money there, but it kind of makes sense if you do it right.
Michael has a behind the camera face, though. Well, he could do those. He could do casting.
Right.
You know, I just don't see them working together again. It's never worked out
No.
before. Oh God, Trey says Michael could do sexual harassment training videos for corporations.
I'm not sure how you feel, but I'm not a big fan of couples who work together. I think it's too much time, and lines can get blurred, and you don't want your work life spilling over into your home life. That tends to happen.
But I think it depends on the temperament of the people involved. Like, look at LVP and her husband, Ken Todd. They've worked together for decades.
But that's because Candy's in full control, and
Candy?
Todd. Oh,
Oh,
Candy
sorry.
was you know Candy and Todd, right? That.
No, LVP, Lisa Vanderpump.
Oh, did you say Candy and Todd?
No, that's
Oh,
not working together. Like, she just funds money for him to go off and like do stuff with.
shut up!
I'm talking about
Not
Lisa
that.
Vanderpump. I'm talking about grown-ups.
Shut up! I heard Todd. Like, wait a minute. Yeah, that's a good
No.
LVP and Ken. Yeah, Ken Todd. Yeah. So they just started together though. It's different. They was grown folk, and plus, Ken is like older than Lisa, so he's probably has a few more tricks up his sleeves, and she's Lisa's just mature beyond belief, and they know how to execute visions. And what it is, Lisa's pretty much the face,
Mhm.
and Ken's the behind the scenes. So their roles are like clearly defined, which is
Mhm.
why it works. And they both enjoy what they do.
And I think Ashley mentioned that like they need to define their roles if they were to work together again. I don't think he respect I don't think Michael will allow Ashley to have a clear role that he's not interfering in.
Right. Like he would need to be on one side of the office building and she on the other side, to where he can't come and just walk in and meddle.
I don't think he even needs to walk in and meddle. He'll just still find a way because he's a control freak. Whereas Ken trusted Lisa's skills and her decisions. Working together requires a lot of outside interest. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's just a tricky situation, but you go get it, girl. Who else are we talking about? You want to talk about Mia?
Yeah, I mean, she really didn't do too much, right?
She has a conversation with her mom, and she's trying to invite her mom to come with them to have ice cream with the kids. And then she goes and she talks to Gordon about Candace and Chris's husbander situation, and she's trying to equate it with like her situation with Gordon, and I don't think the two are apples and apples. um he had an established business with his brother. He married her, he brought her in, and he allowed her to, I guess, grow. I'm sure he did not let her just go in there not knowing anything about the business or anything like that, unsupervised, because he had a partner in the business, his brother. Like, and that's
Mhm.
all their money. So
Right.
you're not going to bring this person who doesn't know anything about the business in and just let her become CEO overnight because she's cute and she's your wife. I don't think that adds up. I think you had to learn um, on the way, and you were supervised. And if I'm being completely honest, I do not think that you are running their enterprise. I just don't. I think him and his brother are still very much engaged in
Oh
that business,
yeah.
because I think I read that the brother is ex-military. I don't think he's going to let you run his business. That's just my opinion. And I don't think that your situation with Gordon is the same as Candace's situation with Chris, because she's starting a music career, she's in the arts. Um, he wants to help her out as a supporting husband, and it's completely different. I don't know what you guys think. I don't know. I wasn't getting it.
No, I'm like, yeah, you're brand new, and honestly, you should have been working the front desk for a couple of years before you even like advanced. Just to be honest, she should have got had to get up at 5 a.m. every day to open one of those facilities at 6. She didn't have to grind her way through the ranks. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
no, mm-mm. You didn't just walk in and be a CEO. You can't be mad because they're trying to guide you because you don't know anything.
Mm-hmm. Um, so it kind of, to me, by bringing up her situation with Gordon, it kind of skewed his opinion on Chris and Candace. And was he looking at her kind of strange when she was saying, I had to tell you to back off or something? I don't know. I don't see him just sitting at home and taking care of children. I don't know why that's so hard for me to swallow.
It just doesn't seem like he would be the type to um he doesn't be the type to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like he's used to working. So
Uh-huh.
you think that he would just be one of those men who just gets up and goes to work every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like him, like it just. I think what it is, it's such an odd picture to see, because when I look at Gordon, he just strikes me as old school grinder type of guy.
Old ghoul.
Not, yeah, I don't know, old school type of guy, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
like he
Yeah.
would be in the streets hustling, getting the cash. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
nothing bad, but him sitting at home like making Duncan Hines brownies with the kids, I just can't see that.
Yeah. Um, then we get to the video shoot, and it's Mia who's there. I think she starts it off with Dorothy, and she's the one who's inciting Dorothy with regards to bad mouthing Chris by asking, like, what do you think about him being the husbander? Huh? Why? I I I didn't understand why she wanted to pick that avenue, but okay.
People just getting involved in
Um,
things that I'm concerned though.
yeah, and then she asked if Chris is being paid, and Escal, Escala and Wendy are overhearing this, and they are shocked, shocked. Like I would be too. Like
Hmm.
I don't think whether or not he's being paid or that he's the husbander is anybody's business but theirs. it's just very weird. Very weird.
Yeah, you know, she tends to do that. You know, she just like Mia tends to try to stir the pot, but in the worst way possible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's very
And
awkward. It's very
yes,
awkward. It's not organic. It's awkward, and that's the difference between her and Giselle.
and Ashley.
Oh yes, 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 yes. Um, was there anything else with her?
Mia now,
Okay, so Karen.
the Grand Dame. Yes,
Well, she's plugging her candles away, her 3-wick candles.
right,
And Trey can attest to the benefits of having a 3-wick candle as opposed to a 1-wick. And she says that her candle has been in the works for a year and a half. And I kind of believe her because they're already ready to go. Like they're not an idea. They're rolling out to the thing that she's doing in Surrey. They're ready to go. So good for her. I'm surprised we did not get a commercial last night with a Q code saying, the Karen's candles are lit, much like Dr. Jackie's facial products, but whatever.
right. Commercial.
Um, so then at the commercial, Karen shows up looking. I thought all the ladies looked really cute for the commercial. Not for the commercial, for the video shoot. What am I saying? And Karen shows up, and of course says, hello to Miss Dorothy, and Miss Dorothy starts, I guess wanting to get Miss Karen into it.
Mhm.
And Miss Karen is like, I just got back on the good grounds with Candace. Oh no, you're not dragging me into this. And then in the confessional, she actually sings like a hymn, Pass Me By, Oh Gentle Savior.
Oh, I was so glad I missed that part.
Oh my God. It is a mess, a mess. And at one point, Karen is trying, it looked to me like she was really trying to get Dorothy away from the cameras and trying to diffuse the situation. And Dorothy just wasn't having it. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Oh my God. So, okay. That was about it for Karen. Let's just go through with Candace. This was all about Candace in this episode. It's the run up for the video shoot. She does the dance class. And then on the video shoot, they do the first part, which is at a garage. And then the last part is where all the ladies were invited. And it's supposed to be like some sort of like drag race or something. And these fancy cars were
Mhm.
supposed to be there. But they didn't show up. Eventually, they had to use some of the ladies' cars. They film it. It's a great episode, but there is a lot of tension because of this mess up by Chris regarding the cars, the luxury cars not showing up. Everyone's calling Chris, as you know, who had cooking classes that day and could not be there. And he rolls up in his chefing outfit, and his penny is on, and he is pissed. And he does a good thing though. He doesn't go in hollering and yelling.
Mhm.
He lets the production crew go ahead, do what they got to do. They found a workaround, and he stands behind. He is angry, but when it's all said and done and they finally do cut, he is there, her biggest cheerleader, right? And I thought that was pretty cool. Now, all of the goings on in between with Dorothy, with Mia, with uh
Giselle.
with Giselle, even a little bit with Robin, because Dorothy even drops innuendo that she's still paying the mortgage on the new house. And she did it
Yeah, it was
to Robin. Who
See, I miss
said
all the good
Miss
stuff.
Dorothy? Yeah, the last part of the episode was the bomb, but you needed to get rest. Yeah, it was the last 10 minutes, I think.
I don't see. I knew I should just watch the. I told someone told me like, don't watch the whole thing because you're pressed for time. Just watch the last 10 minutes. I'm like, no, I'm gonna watch from the beginning, get the whole round. I knew it. I
For
knew it.
this season, with all the franchises, I would say anywhere between the last 20 and 10 minutes is the entire episode. But yeah,
How
Miss
was it?
Dorothy
Okay,
saved this episode.
so I have a question. Did I misread it? Because didn't they say the call time was 5 p.m.? Did I see
Yes,
that right? I'm
yes.
like, okay, why is the call time 5 p.m.? Because call time means that's when you need to actually be there to
Hmm.
get ready.
You have to be there and ready for your call time. So they were trying to get the last scene in before sunset, which was like at 6:30 something,
Right, but if you see call time, if call time's at 5, they weren't even set up yet.
because they were late from the garage.
Got
They
it.
were late from the garage. So it's just
But I'm
again,
thinking, I'm just thinking, if their call time is 5, that means you as the crew need to be there by 3.
this is a very small production.
Okay, okay, okay. Forgot. Okay.
You talking about like multi-camera shots? Um, I'm still looking for their camera. But yeah, the
It was
director was
iPhones.
there. So messed up.
It was iPhones and
But
tripods.
they got a Maserati in there. They got one or two of the other ladies' cars in there. Um, oh my God, Ryan said you can't be on CPT with the sun. No, you can't.
Mm-mm.
And Trey says Candace needs to thank her lucky stars that the ladies decided to drive their nice cars and not their weekly get around wheels to the video shoot. Yeah. Um, or maybe this was all
Right.
manufactured, and the ladies' cars were supposed to be the luxury cars for the shoot. Just saying. So yeah, it was a meh episode for me. Between Giselle and Grace driving and Miss Dorothy being messy at the end, there was nothing else in this episode to talk about.
Uh, I figured as much. Dag
Okay.
nabbit.
So let's head on over to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 2, episode 2, Icy Apology. Who do you want to start with?
Let's start with Jenny. I like her.
Jenny. Yeah, I
I
do
like her.
too. The segment
And
with her
her.
kids, I like that a
Mhm.
lot.
And
Hmm.
her. Do we want to have a large family? He kept asking the little girl talking about, oh, do you want to have a baby brother? No. Wouldn't you like a baby sister? No. And Jenny's like, no. She's like, I got 3 kids. I'm
Yep.
good. But Dewey wants to, like, a sign of wealth is if you have a big family, and that's what he wants. And she's like, I'm cool. Thank you though.
Well, go and adopt some children.
Mhm.
You
Dewey,
know,
Brad and Angelina. Ain't nothing wrong
yeah.
with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you're not trying to physically have no children, adopt.
Mm-hmm. Um, and then hold on, there was another segment in here with Jenny and Lisa going over to Jen's house. And I think this is
Yes.
to introduce Jenny to Jen.
Right.
I'm very hesitant to believe that Jen likes Jenny. I think that's just for now.
Oh yeah, you can see that going left real easily.
Yeah, because
Cause,
Jenny
cause
has a
did,
personality.
Cause did you see Jenny's face when Jenny was talking about how she's the one doing all the apologizing and how no one's thinking about how she feels? Did you just look at her face, looking like she was looking at her like, well, you was dead wrong, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the face she gave Jen. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Ryan, I agree with you on this. I thought 3 kids is a big was a big family by today's standards, but he's thinking like culturally.
Right.
Um So yeah, um, to each his own. I can even do one. So there you
Mm.
go. That's my synopsis on that. So yeah, so why is Lisa trying to drive with her knees instead of her hands? I just can't. I just can't. Um, but whatever. Who's next?
Let's do Lisa.
Okay, so why were they bringing a sewing machine over to make their own clothes at that?
That was hilarious.
What?
I'm sorry, I laughed because when Jen said, "We don't even cook over here. How are we gonna make some pants?" I'm like, "Good point. Very good, very,
Exactly.
very good, very good point."
Exactly. I thought it was very, very weird. But again, I think that was the only thing that Lisa was in, right?
From what I recall, yes, that was like her one segment.
Next,
Let's just go from Lisa. Let's go to Whitney.
Whitney.
She's trying to get her $1 billion business. She's trying to make it happen, but then she's letting her husband like, hey, I need some help from you, with the kids and the home life, and he's like, okay, but I'm going to need you not to be so far on your grind that you forget us as a family. And I think both have valid points. I really
Okay.
do.
Whitney says in her confessional that they used to have sex every day, but now it's just 2 to 3 times a week, and it feels like a chore. And
Robot
then
sex.
she goes on, right? The producer asks her, "Can you describe what robot sex is?" And she goes on to illustrate. That was the best. It She has, like, to me, like Lucille Ball kind of comedic talent. Like, she is hilarious just naturally.
She don't
I don't
care.
Yeah, I don't think she's manufactured by her glam team, with feeding one-liners. She's a mess and I love it. Um
She's just gonna be herself, and she doesn't care. Like, this is what it is. When she went
mhm.
into the detail, I'm like, okay, you really having a problem with this. You're having a real issue. This is a real issue for
Mhm.
you.
Mhm.
So she's like 2, 3. She's like, that's just bad for us. Bad. I was like, oh, oh.
Yes, Montana, she's a lovable ditz. And Jeannie does give me star vibes as well. They have really brought in Jen's replacement, but a more rational one. I don't think, like, how Jen goes off and it's just like, girl, what are you doing?
Hmm.
Like, when Jeannie goes off, I hope it will be different. I hope so. But time will tell. Um, since we did Whitney, do you want to go into Heather and their scene
Yes,
at the store?
that makes sense.
Mhm.
That makes sense. I like Whitney and Heather together.
Mhm.
I really do. And not just because they're family, because they have a very, very good dynamic. You can tell like they love each other, but they will tell each other when they're wrong.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
they're gonna be ones not to get any unnecessary fights with each other.
Mhm.
And they had the shop that they went to was interesting. It had interesting clothes,
Mhm.
and I love when Heather's like, that's a $21,000 Chanel bag. Put down the $21,000 bag. Put it
Mhm.
down. Don't break nothing. Right there for
Yeah.
it. That's what she
Yeah.
was saying.
Yeah, it was a luxury consignment store. And I wonder
It
how
was nice.
many, yeah, I wonder how many of Jen's stuff is in there or how many she's picked up from there. But yeah, like,
Or Mary.
no,
Mary.
Mary's not buying from there.
Oh, she's flying
Mary's
to
buying
Italy and getting her
online.
stuff.
Yeah, she's buying
Oh,
online,
okay.
from the resale places.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I this is the serious side to Whitney that I think everybody always underestimates. When she told Heather, "Be very careful. I'm very concerned because I'm the one that had to pick you up off of the floor the last time." Like, that struck home for me. And she's giving Heather really good advice. But Heather has something ingrained in her character and her personality that she feels like she always has to be there for her friends, whether they're there for her or not. What the change that I saw in Heather was when she finally confronted Jen at the ice castle, and she whipped out her phone, and those text messages that Jen did not like retweet or like, she wrote it. She
Hmm.
wrote it, and she's like, and there, it's a verified account. This is
Right.
you.
And then when Jen was trying to say like it wasn't me, I'm like verified check mark. It has to be you. What are you
Well,
talking about?
she's trying to say that Jen is trying to say that she has people who manages the account for her. But Meredith has a very good point. It's your verified account, therefore you're ultimately responsible for what
Responsible.
goes on it, whether you typed it or not. So yeah.
Real quick, let's go. Ryan says Whitney's storyline needs to be more than her husband and her and her hubby's bedroom antics. Agreed.
But I think
Jen,
this is the part that's to her storyline. She's multifaceted. Yes, she's the ditzy, blonde. But when these key little scenes where she's making
yes.
really good sense, I think we overlook it. That scene with Heather is the other part of Whitney.
I think with Whitney, you're going to have to look more at the in betweens and not her actual storyline.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where we're gonna have to focus with Whitney
Yeah.
this season, from what I can see.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, Montana says Jen being upset with Jenny and the similar names was just odd. That's just Jen trying to be steal more screen time. She wasn't mad. She's looking
Mm-hmm.
for. She'll take any moment she can this season
Mm-hmm.
because she didn't know how many moments she was gonna have. Let's see. I hope Jenny tells Jen she needs to stop throwing the race car around instead of owning that her personality sucks. Yep, agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Trey agreed. Heather is insecure. Yes, she's. It's gonna take her a minute to work out of that because I think that's ingrained in her. I
Mm-hmm.
really do. I
Mm-hmm.
really do. I think the whole humility thing. I'm sorry. False humility does no one good.
Yeah.
So I'd rather you be confident and full of yourself than false humility. Like I hate when you give my compliment. Oh, like you really look good today. Oh no, I don't. I'm like, you know what? You're supposed to just say, you know what? Thank you very much, and keep it moving.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
And
so
Susan's like, oh, Mary's house remind me of the Land of Oz. Yeah,
yeah, it was kind of crazy. I don't remember all of that hideous furniture last year.
but remember, we only really saw the kitchen
We
and
saw
one
the
of her bedrooms,
kitchen.
and that one bedroom that she used for storage. That's all you saw of her house.
Yeah. Oof. Why didn't she change out that carpet though? Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow. So who's next?
You might as well do Mary.
Okay. She invites over her cousin Big Joe. He's a contractor, but apparently he's the worst contractor ever in creation. He's unprofessional. He takes forever. But she shows him around her ugly house. Um, to be quite honest, they just need to strip out all the furniture, the carpeting, the flooring, everything, and just move Mary out, burn all of her clothes, fumigate, give it a fresh coat of paint, change out all of the fixtures, the lighting, the bathroom faucet fixtures, all of that, and just get somebody nice to come in and give her normal furniture because the bones of the place is good. It's just Mary's
Right.
ruined it with her bad taste.
That's where I was at because when they were going around, I'm like, in my mind, I was like, here's what's gonna need to happen. Mary's gonna need to rent a place because for them to do anything substantial with that house, they literally, in my opinion, need to take everything out of the house.
Yeah, bring up the dumpsters.
Everything. I mean, everything. You have to take everything out of the house. You know, I'm gonna say this nicely. Sell what can be sold, trash the rest, and use that money to refurnish refurnish the house. I mean, the whole house has to be literally strip it pretty much bare.
I say do a crossover with hoarders.
Yeah,
I say do a crossover with hoarders.
yeah.
Pull every living thing out of that house, strip it down, and burn it.
I'm gonna
Bonfire at
burn it.
Mary's.
I'm gonna burn it. I would just sell what,
I
like I
would.
said. If I said sell, you sell what you
I
can
don't
be
think
sold.
there's anything in there to be sold.
She spent too much money not to get something out of it. I'm sorry, she did. Let's be honest. You know she overpaid, so she gotta get some of that money back.
Open back up the church and let the people pay.
Ryan says Robert Jr. had a studio apartment with it. Yes, he did.
Why he had a full size fridge? And that
Full size
brand
fridge.
of fridge, like they sell toasters for $500.
Yeah,
Toasters, and he had a full fridge
full
and
fridge.
patio furniture in his room. Say what now?
Look. Robert Jr. had a studio apartment in the house. He had a fridge, city area. Looked like maybe a sink and a counter. Cause she's like, you don't ever come out of your room. He's like, nah.
Even the
Even the
clothes.
cloth master checkerboard. She looked.
Yeah, a Smeg. That's an expensive brand, right? Because wasn't where did I see them? And somebody got a toaster and they were so excited. They said, "Oh, it's like $500." I was like, "Five for what? A
So
toaster,
a
a two sliced pop up toaster."
so a Smeg. Let me go in just to check it out. Smeg kitchen appliances.
So what did we see Mary do anything else besides say that she bought light fixtures while she was on her period? Oh, gross.
Right.
Ay, ay, ay. Anywho, who's next? Meredith?
Okay. Oh, okay. So his fridge. Let's see. His fridge sells for about. Well, one similar sells about for about what a cool 2-3 thousand.
Okay, now they could sell that. They could sell that. All right,
Yeah.
so let's. Was there anything else with Mary?
No.
All right, so let's move on to Meredith. Meredith seems like really happy now that Seth is spending more time with her, at least 50% in Utah. She gets a call from Brooks. Um, and then she sits down to dinner with Seth and she shows Seth the latest social media attacks from Jen. She's just not having this. And she just says point blank, what's go Brooks's sexual orientation or whatever is none of her business. Um, Seth asks her if she thinks that there's a misunderstanding, and Meredith says that Jen is going to push her and push her and push her until she unleashes. I want to see that. I want to see that.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was funny.
Mary's fish comment. Yes, when she was like she was giving advice to her son, and she told the
Son,
son,
when it's
if
time
you
when it's
smell
time for
fish,
town, right? Run.
to run. And she's telling this to Big Joe.
Hmm.
It's a good piece of advice, but the way
Right.
we didn't need to know that. And if
No.
he doesn't have that common sense, my
Correct.
God, my God. Okay, so back to Meredith. I know you have your opinions on this, but I know you didn't watch What Happens Live, because she said there was more to this situation than we know. Because we thought, based on what we saw last season, it was just one
Hmm.
quick flash and he was up
Right.
in people's vajaj. But apparently, she flashed it multiple times and she was told multiple times, don't do that by production.
Mm.
And that's why he was so uncomfortable. He was like, he has to be there for the scene.
Right.
Okay. So why are you doing that in somebody else's home where there are children present. Yes, he's an older child. I get it.
But
But if you
still,
were warned multiple times by production plus Meredith to stop and you're still doing it, huh? Aren't you a mom too?
that makes more sense. Why
Yeah,
she's
so
upset.
yeah,
That gives more context.
yep. And she said that's why he was uncomfortable because he was like, you really need to reconsider your friends because like, really? She's
Right.
making me feel uncomfortable in my own home.
Exactly. So with that context, you can understand why she's upset.
Yeah. So that's another facet to it that we did not, well, I didn't know.
Me
Um,
neither.
you know, but Jen, you need to grow up because it's not a good look for you to be fighting with Junior.
Mm-mm.
And it's not a good look for you to be kind of talking about his sexual orientation if he hasn't done it himself.
Correct.
It's just messy all around. And last night on Watch What Happens Live, Brooks was playing up the victim card. I had no time for it. Go away, Brooks. He's in New York attending college and only taking one class. Get the fuck out of here. Waste of your money, Meredith has
Right.
said.
And whether he's renting an apartment or staying on campus, that's still way too much money for one class.
Let's hope
He could
that he can sell them jogging suits to support that apartment.
because he could take that one class from Utah. Sorry,
Hmm.
there was no reason for you to go all the way up there for one class. Just saying.
Yep. Okay, so was there anything else with Meredith?
No.
All right, so let's get to Jed. We open up the episode with her in her closet with Stuart, who he did a plea deal.
Shut up.
I'm just saying. And
Duh.
she has her cousin, no nephew,
Nephew.
Dwayne. Her nephew Dwayne, from South Central LA. He now lives there with her, and I wonder if the reason why he lives there with her is because Coach Shaw is allegedly with his other family. Um, but she needs supervision, so that's good. And they're all up in her closet, and I don't know what they're doing in there. Are they going through stuff to
Purging.
donate?
Yeah, because it's Ramadan coming up, and that's the one of the things that they do is charity. From what
I
I
I
picked up
would
on the
like to
conversation.
see. I would like to see what was donated. I do. Um, and then we get the episode, the scene where she meets Jeannie for the first time, and they're sewing their own clothes. Um, Jen says that Brooks came for her and after her vagina, and she is defending her vagina, and she's tired of apologizing. And girl, just stop it. Um, then we see Jen and Stuart go out to the ice castle to meet so that Jen can meet with Heather. I love it that the person who took the plea deal, Stuart, busted his ass on the ice. That was fabulous. I wish he had took down Jen, but he didn't. Oh well. Um, and she has that stupid conversation with Heather where she's trying to change the narrative from her doing her friend wrong and instead trying to make it seem like it's all about Jen and how she feels victimized because of the color of her skin. Okay, girl. Good for
Jen,
you.
Jen plays victim like no other, and believes it.
I'm glad somebody believes it because I don't.
It's just with her. It's just where is the accountability? I mean, real accountability. You can't
None.
say you can't keep saying like I apologize, I apologize, I apologize. Yes, you apologize, but then you repeat the behavior. An apology is nothing without changed behavior. So
And
what do you
this
expect?
this is something that Meredith said on Watch What Happens Live. She said, what worth is the apology when the actions are not there to follow it up? It kind of nullifies the apology.
No, it does. That's what I tell people all the time. So it's rare that I'll put it this way. I generally don't apologize for things I say because I stand by the things I say.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I hurt your feelings and it wasn't my intention, then I will say, like, you know what? Maybe the way I said it came off harsh and it hurt your feelings, and I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. So for that, I apologize. No, I stand by what I said,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Now, if I said something to hurt your feelings, I'm not apologizing either way because I meant to hurt your feelings. So why would I apologize for it?
Mm-hmm.
Jen will hurt people's feelings,
Mm-hmm.
then apologize, and then continue to hurt their feelings, and she wonders why everyone's mad at her. And I was with Heather, like, you called me a racist, so why would you why would you say I was your best friend and you call me a racist? But then
Mm-hmm.
Heather, I'm looking at you. Is your self esteem and your thirst for friends so low to where you're willing to be friends with someone who blatantly called you a racist?
Bye, Ryan. See you later. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, Ryan.
Yeah, Jen's gonna annoy me this season. She really is throwing out this victim card every episode. I'm
I have a
not here
question
for
for
it.
you,
Mm.
and this is just for me, just piecing things together from last season, this season. Do you feel like Jen is always painting herself into the victim's corner
Uh
in
huh.
any situation? I
Uh huh.
mean, she could be apologizing and she's the victim.
Yeah. Yeah. Because here's how it goes. She says the fake apology, the beginning of the waterworks. Then it goes into she was victimized as a child because of the color of her skin growing up in Utah around all these bad Mormon white people who victimized her. And then more tears and then anger. And then it's like wash, rinse, repeat with her all the time. It's the same thing over and over again. I have no more interest in it
No, because I'm looking at her like, how are you the victim in an apology?
because the attention always has to be on her.
Okay, so it's
So
not
she
just
needs to
me. Like,
turn it around on her.
so I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt. First season, we know you're getting arrested, so I'm trying to give you some grace, but you can't be the victim in every single situation.
And Montana says to Jen, being a victim automatically excuses her behavior. Yeah, because they're
Yes,
the reason why she behaves that way, because she has to like be defending herself or be defensive. And no, what?
and I want to see
What?
this reflection. I want to see this year of reflection and growth. Where is it? I know it's only 2 episodes in, but I'm going to need to see it soon.
Do you even believe that she went to therapy? No, there's no reflection. There's no growth. There's no therapy. There's nothing. There's her living in a house alone. Well, now she has nephew Dwayne um, there. But even with that, I thought it was shady how she said it because she was like, oh, he contacted me. He needed his family to get out of South Central LA. They were desperate. But, I was in my space and I wasn't hearing anything. And so 6 months later, when I was, able to do something, I contacted him and got them out. What?
6 months later, you call him back,
Dwayne, you must have really needed someplace to
but
live.
but you're like his second mom. But it took you 6 months to call him back. I'm like, did anyone? I just want to know, did anyone else hear that?
It
I'm
was
like
just
six. I'm
ridiculous.
like his second mom, but I was so in my own space that I didn't call him back until 6 months later. So I was doing my stuff. This it was
Somehow,
insane.
I feel like Coach Shaw was like, "I'm done with this. Once you got arrested, I'm gonna call my nephew Dwayne, have him come over here. He ain't got nothing else better to do, and he could watch you while I'm gone."
That was insane to me, simply because of how she acted. Because she, it's just, it's amazing how everything is about her.
Hmm.
I swear, your dog could die, and you're like, you know what? I'm sorry your dog died, but I loved him, and I'm gonna miss him.
Hmm.
It's like that kind of thing. It's like I don't like to use the term narcissist because I think it's kind of rude. But based on what we've seen, we have one season plus 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to put her on that boat.
Yeah.
I might have to put her on that boat because everything's about her and what's been done to her. And when she apologizes, it's always, I apologize, but I'm like, yep, there's that one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But we'll see. We'll keep track of it this season. But she's a one trick pony. And I was reading something very interesting yesterday online. The rules for the housewives, and whenever they're on set and they're filming, whenever they take a phone call, it has to be on speakerphone so that the cameras can catch it.
Mm,
And if you notice, when she got her call to give her the heads up,
yes,
it was not on
it
speakerphone.
was not on speakerphone.
So, she must have known something was happening. She was trying to get out of there as quickly as
Right.
possible.
She was trying to run up out of there so fast.
But the bus would not leave because someone said, stop the bus. And she got stuck on there. So, yeah. So that's why she had to
Mhm.
hightail it out on her own. Child. And I was thinking that it was Coach that called her, but what if it was Dwayne, her babysitter?
Mhm. Because
Okay.
Coach Shaw wasn't there. I don't think Coach Shaw was there.
Is Coach Shaw ever there?
I mean, he has to go to work for his job.
And his other family.
So do you really think he has another family?
And just because he was so casual with saying the thing about the multiple wives, and she took so much offense to it, she was butt hurt. And I feel that's
Mm.
because he has a second family. And they're in Utah, where the Mormon and the Muslim meet.
Oh. So basically, but in your opinion, basically she got offended because he was letting the cat out the bag.
Yeah. And she don't like it. You
She
better
is.
hope you first wife.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, she's the first wife. I was thinking about that. She's the first wife.
Hey Shay, welcome to your first live. Oh my God. Guys, these were two, well, Potomac was for me, and Salt Lake City, they're gearing up.
They're
It had
gearing
a
up.
few, yeah, it had a few good scenes. I wasn't mad at it at all. It left me with a lot of questions that I want to see next week, next week's episode. So
Hmm.
not bad for a housewife's evening. Not bad.
No, 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 no. This is good. And did you see what Salt Lake City did though?
What?
They give you your game back to the formula. 7 wives.
Well,
We just need two. We just need two really good, lightweight, messy friends.
okay. Does Jen make it through the whole season? Just checking.
Oh, she. I think she filmed through the whole season.
Oh,
Because
nice.
remember, like her legal team didn't want her to film, but she just said, "I'm filming anyway," and they were happy with her.
Oh my God. Well,
But you, but
guys,
you, real quick before we go, you see
uh-huh.
she's doing the, you see she's doing the Erica Jane. You see what she's doing, but she's at the beginning of the season, same thing with Erica. They were showing their closets, showing their clothes,
Mm-hmm.
showing their wealth.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if we gonna see Jen, downsizing a little bit and not showing us much as the season goes on.
I don't think Jen's closet is that fabulous. I don't see jewels, which is something that can be
You
resold.
see, gaudy. That's what you see. I'm sorry. That's
It's
what you
not
want to
even
say.
that. I don't see any Birkins. I see a bunch of anybody can get that designers in abundance. She went for
Oh,
quantity instead of
mm,
quality.
so in your opinion, you're saying that she went outlet shopping and just bought a whole bunch of stuff to fill up her closet. It's not.
I
It's
think
no Tiffany. It's no Tiffany Moon closet. Is what you're saying.
correct. I think she shops to alleviate other issues in her
Mm,
life, and she doesn't shop vintage like a Sutton for investment pieces, even down to Erica Jane, a couple of those diamond studs, that panther
mm.
ring, and a couple of necklaces could get her through very well if the stones are up to par. You see what I'm
With
saying?
her closet, is a closet of a binge shopper,
Yeah,
outlet shopping. If
yeah,
just because of the mass quantity she has, right? But
yeah.
there's nothing that is, how can we say, safe worthy, if that makes sense.
Correct. Like
Okay.
there's the Birkins, if she has Birkins, they're probably run of the mill. They're not like a Crystal who has
Right.
that collectible
Mhm.
95,000 mini Birkin. Like that's a collectible.
Mhm.
That will appreciate.
Yes.
What Jen has with her pussy juice soaking through it is not a collectible. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
It isn't. It's just gaudy, trashy clothes with a label on it.
Gotcha.
Dare I say, a la Doric
Like
Kimsey.
for example, like basically, it's she has labels. Okay, so she has
Yeah,
labels, but she
yeah.
doesn't have like label. You know.
She hasn't bought. Okay, if you're trying to stash money, I wouldn't be buying all the latest Versace, Gucci, Fendi
Mhm.
crap. And
Right.
I wouldn't be buying up half a closet in shoes. I just
Mhm.
wouldn't. There's only one brand that I would buy a bag from if I wanted it to appreciate in value, and that would be Hermes. And it would be certain collections, not the run of
Mhm.
the mill basic ones. It's limited edition ones if you're using it as investment. And the rest I would be putting in a jewelry that I can sew into the hem of my dress while I'm running away, fleeing the country. So I can resell that shit.
So it's not Leah. It's not Leah Black. Yes, she's not a Leah Black.
Correct. And when I say
She's never going to
resell
people.
it, this is what I'm telling y'all people. You get it in a necklace, earrings, ring, bracelet,
Yes.
whatever, and you take it overseas and you dismantle it and
That's it.
sell the stones.
You piece it
Sell the
together.
stones. Yes, and that
That's
way
why
it's
you do
not
custom.
traceable.
That's why you do custom pieces.
True, and you pray that they don't, because what they're doing now in the diamonds is they put in signatures in the diamonds for when they're
Right.
stolen. So yes, you know, I, I'm just saying, her closet is trash to me.
It's just what it is with her closet. It's just there's a lot of clothes. And yes, they're labels. They're labels. Let's be nice, but you're not going to go walk into her closet and be like, ooh, like what's that?
You know what it reminded me of? And this is for my old school people from the Northeast, Filene's basement. That's what it reminded me of.
Who is Filene? And why she got a
Or
basement?
maybe even like a Century 21.
Okay.
But Filene's basement is real old school. But yeah, that's
Oh,
what it reminds me of. So I don't
oh,
forget. Oh,
Montana.
that's true.
Oh,
Even the consignment store had better stuff than Jen's closet. Just saying.
Montana says no stores are shutting down for Jen,
That's right.
unlike Sutton. But Jen doesn't shop like that though. You know what I
Jen
mean?
Jen shops because she is depressed.
Mm.
She's
Mhm.
like, okay, I want 10 of those and I want 5 of those and give me
Mm.
everything
Okay.
on that shelf
Gotcha. She
and
wanted. Yeah.
wrap it up and let's go. Stuart, bring it. That's what
Mm,
she does.
gotcha.
There's no rhyme, there's no reason. It just makes her feel better. And then she gets home and she's like, I don't feel any better.
Depression shopping.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. Okay, that makes way more sense.
Okay, so I gotta go.
Right. Yeah. Sorry about that.
I gotta go, guys. But thank you so much for joining us. We love you in the live crew, the live chat. Hi to everybody in the replay crew. Give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell a friend. We'll see you tomorrow for Mama's Boy. Come dressed to not impress.
Right.
So until next time, my friend.
Of course. Bye.
Bye.